Well, g'day, and welcome back to my second day here in YunFu. So today we're going to take a little walk down and try and find a few little factories to have a look at. So last time I was here, I came for a walk from the hotel I was staying in, which was out that way. And as I was walking in, I noticed there was a lot of little factory places. So we're going to go see if we can find some of them, go for a walk along the river here. But just before we take off, I just thought I'd give you a look here. So here we have this great big park area here, big open square, which, yeah, I've not actually seen this before. We have a big stage up the front here. And then down the side, this side down here, we have these plaques or posters or whatever we want to call them. So these each contain pictures of what I'm guessing are local people and who must have been honoured in some way for something that they've done. 2004, so it looks like they're giving a bit of their history. So chances are these people are all people who have been prominent members in the community, who have done some sort of work to further the community. So whether it's volunteer work or running projects, they do this quite often. As you go around, you'll see boards with pictures of people who are important community members. So we see here someone, he must be a police officer. We see, I can't tell what she must have been. This guy, 2020. So there's probably a lot of people up there at the moment who were involved with the COVID pandemic. A lot of those people are being honoured at the moment, which is really good because, yeah, a lot of people put in a lot of hard work keeping the community safe during that time. Okay, down here we have a kindergarten. Let's go have a look in here. We'll duck down these steps, go and show you what a kindergarten looks like here in YunFu. So you can see we are, what are we, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 floors of kindergarten. Cross the road here if we can. And just have a little peek in here. It's closed at the moment, of course, it's school holidays, so there's no students in here. But we see down the bottom here they have a playground area. So there's basketballs, there's basketball hoops. Oh, they got little drums in there, little hand drums. And then over this side we have slides and all that sort of thing for the kids to come and play on, which is really cool. Yeah, and playground underneath the building, out of the sun to keep the kids cool, because they wouldn't want to be playing outside at the moment. Oh, and look at this over on the left here. Okay, let's get back over the road. And over here we have a children's playground area, which, so we have these climbing frames with lots of things to be climbing in. We might swing around the other side and go and see what else we can see. We have a couple of little rides. We have here the trampolines with bungee ropes connected. So yeah, we're going to go for a walk around and we'll jump in the other side there and have a little look at what's going on in there. So out the front of the playground we have a coffee house, so somewhere for the parents to come and chill out and have a drink while their kids are playing. So let's have a look at what sort of stuff we have. So look, we have these excavators set up so kids can practice digging sand for their sand pits at home, I guess. I wonder how much they cost. I can't see a price. but it looks like it's coin operated, so probably 1 RMB. That's the largest coin they have here. They have a few games machines. There's some of those claw machines up the back here. Nice little merry-go-round. Another merry-go-round. Looks like this one probably goes up and down. Have another little, what's this one look like it does? Probably just spins around and around. We have balls down in the bottom there. And then bumper cars over here on the left. So that should keep all the kids fairly occupied. So we're now going to take off. We're going to walk down towards the river and see what we can find in terms of these little factories that I remember from last time. So we're just going to pause our walk here. You can see behind me this archway here leading into this little shopping precinct. The buildings up here are quite nice looking. Looks like they've fairly recently been reconditioned, refurbished. They're all freshly painted, looking absolutely spectacular. And then over this side, over the river, we have this. It's a relatively new footbridge, so judging by the lights, looks like they have some sort of a light show on here at night time, or maybe it's just lit up. But and then we see these. If we can zoom in here, these little dragons on the supports for the bridge. So we're going to go for a little walk up onto this bridge, have a little look at what's up here, see what we can see on our way through. So we have these lions protecting. So lions, of course, very, very, very common theme in China. The lion is seen as a very, very important animal in their culture, in their history. So these walls on the side here all have these artworks sort of carved into them, which is very nice. Which I'm hoping up the road here we're actually going to see one of the factories that makes this sort of thing, if we can find one. And then down here we can see. So this isn't the main river, this is just an offshoot of the river. We have a man down here on a standing paddleboard. I'm not sure what he's doing down there, whether he's fishing, smacking the water. I don't know what he'd be doing that for. So, and then if we have a look the other way, this is the way we're walking. We're basically those tall buildings there. We're looking at getting past them, and then there were some factories down there, which I hope I can find because they'd be pretty cool to show you. So we might walk down actually on this side of the river, because there's another little interesting little piece here we might go and have a little look at, see what we can see. So we see more of this carved artwork on the sides here. Absolutely spectacular. And we'll get up the way and have a look at the bridge from a bit further away. So as you can see, what it looks like. It is it's a beautiful bridge, it really is. So let's spin us around. Hello! We've got a group of girls here saying hello. And here we have, can I zoom out a bit more? There we go. So there we have the bridge. It's, yeah, gorgeous looking thing over the river. Like I say, it's fairly new. I think it was only built about 3 or 4 years ago. I remember somebody telling me that last time I was here. So getting into an older part of the city here. So if we go back the way we've come from, there's a lot of new apartment buildings, new shopping centres, all that sort of thing. A lot of the stuff out here, especially when we get back to the other side of the river, a lot of that is much, much older until we get, I think the hotel I stayed in last time was about 5 kilometres down the road there. And that was another fairly new area. It's a very, very touristy complex. We'll probably get out there sometime in the next few days and give you a look. So I just wanted to see this, there's another bridge here ducking under the road just up here. So the river must do like a T-junction, carve off to the left here somewhere. And we'll just have a quick look, see if we can see where that goes. It's actually much more water in here than last time I was here. Last time I was here, there was lots of sandbanks and things through the middle of the river, sandbars up above the water level. So yeah, it's sitting a lot higher than it was last time I was here. So, and then as we look over the other side, okay, it looks like just a small tributary carrying on somewhere off into the distance there. So we're going to swap cameras. We'll get you back onto the 360 camera. Add a bit of a time lapse through as we walk through here, just so you can see everything, but it'll go quickly. And then we'll be back when we find some of these factories for you. So we're not going to get as far as we hoped. It's just too bloody hot. So we did find a few factories down this little side street. So we're going to stop in here and have a little look at what we can see in here. So first of all, in here we have a hairdressers. This is one thing that I found rather surprising here in China, is the hairdressers are predominantly a male occupation, whereas you go to Australia, it's mostly females doing this sort of thing. So we're going to cross the road over here, and we are going to head down this little back alleyway to our left. There's a few factories in there making things like purses and the like. So we're going to go and have a look down there and just see if we can't poke our heads in a few of these factories. See what we can see. So it looks like a lot of this area is predominantly home building type stuff. So a lot of builders yards and things like that, where builders will come and buy the materials they need to be building houses or apartments or shops or whatever they're working on. Let's have a look around here. So we can see up the back here some very tall new apartment buildings there. Little supermarket here. I think, if my memory serves me right, that's a middle school in there. And then we're going to head down this way through this little street here and see what we can come across. A lot of these places down here were closed as we were walking up, but there are a few that are open. So what have we got in here? That's just looks like a junk shop. All sorts of stuff. Okay, we're going to get over to the left-hand side. I think the first one we come across is over here. So this is some sort of carpentry shop. I'm not sure what he's actually making in there. I can't see anything that looks like finished product, so I'm not sure what they're building. Oh, food shop just opening up. Okay, what do we got over on the right hand side here? Okay, this is a group of ladies sewing. Let's see if we can see what they're making. So that looks like a clothing manufacturer of some form or other. Clothing doesn't interest me that much. Okay, in here we have some sort of leather work being done. Again, I can't see from it. Looks like it might be for wallets, purses, that kind of thing. Hey, let's duck around this car. Okay, we have another sewing factory in here. They're doing leather work as well, so same sort of thing. Looks like for purses or bags, handbags, maybe wallets. There is actually a factory further up the road here where they're putting this stuff together, so we will duck in and have a little look in there. Okay, I think we're going to switch over to the other side of the road. No, we're going to stay here for the minute. There was another one up here, I think, from memory. So the temperature here currently is about 36 degrees. Feels like about 40. It's very humid and hard work walking during the day, I tell you what. Now I've been here for 6 years, just over 6 years now, and I'm still not used to this temperature. I looked on the weather map yesterday just out of interest. The weather here, when I looked on the map, was 35, and then I compared that to my hometown, which was sitting on, I think it was 16 degrees Celsius at the time, which is much more my sort of level of temperature comfort. More a fan of the cold weather than the hot. So in here we have a little factory doing leather work. So you see bags stuffed down the bottom here. So they're not finished products. That looks like they're just cutting and shaping leather for further processing in another factory where they'll put things together. So now this one down here, I believe, was making handles and the like. So here we get the construction of your handles and straps for handbags and the like. So all leather crafted, and we see, and then there's another shop up here doing the same kind of thing. So this is all yeah, straps and the like for handbags. So there's a lot of that goes on here. I don't know where they send their finished products, whether they final construction of handbags, wallets, purses, that sort of thing. I don't know if they finish construction here or if they just manufacture the various bits and pieces and send them off to another city somewhere to finish the construction. Let's see, which way are we going to go here, left or right? Right is going to take us back down to the river, which we've been down there. Let's go left and see what we've got down this way. So just another little thing. This is a common little thing here, just almost like a miniature truck, little diesel engine in the front. So these are used getting in and out of the city. So we have them clearing a building in here and getting ready for renovations. So you'll often find them little trucks are just easier to get in and out of places, especially, you know, in crowded city streets and the like. So yeah, common little thing that I just thought I'd make a quick little note of for you. So here we have, you see these vehicles around quite a bit. You see we have a motor up the front here, a couple of wheels, and then no steering wheel. It's just a big sort of swing lever arm mechanism coming back to your gearbox here. Almost rubber band seat with a just a load bed on the back. You often see these things carrying sand, blue metal, gravel, all that sort of stuff. They're up. I don't think you get away with one of these in Australia. They're very loud, very smoky. When they're coming down the road, you can hear them from a mile away. I don't think there's much in the way of a muffler or anything on here. Fuel tank sitting on top of the engine there. They use these a lot around the city. You wouldn't want to take them too far, but you know, around the city where it's, well, if we look down here, we can see it's very close in streets. Everyone's parked on the side, so you don't want to be trying to get a big truck down these sorts of roads. So little things like that, very common here. So we have new construction going on here on the left, and then so we've got, what have we got? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That's a 7-story building going up there. And then if we spin around to our right here, there's another big construction project happening up behind these buildings. Actually, let's go for a walk this way and we'll go and have a look at what's being built down this end. Okay, here we have another little sewing factory of some form. Okay, that looks like that's just a clothing repair sort of place. So if you got clothes that need adjustments or things that need patching or whatever, whack them in there and they'll fix them up for you. No doubt do a good job. And cheap. So over on the right we see this looks like a really big construction project. Not sure what they're building in there, whether it's going to be apartments or, no, it doesn't look like an apartment building. Looks more like some sort of a shopping centre or office space. But yeah, it's a busy little town. There's lots of construction going on here. They're doing a lot to improve things. A lot of, as we saw, a lot of new apartment buildings going up, and a lot of this older area is gradually getting upgraded as time moves on. Okay, on our left here we have, looks like another kindergarten or primary school, probably a kindergarten I think. So another kindergarten. See if we can make it out. Yes, definitely looks like a kindergarten to me, not a primary school. All the play equipment's too small for primary school. But yeah, this is another, what have we got? 4 stories, and we've got classrooms all the way from here, right the way around and out into the front here. It's a, hello. Yeah, lots of kindergartens everywhere, and they're all big with the population. So one thing that always gets me here is the just your comparison between how you view things. So YunFu is seen by a lot of people, a lot of parts of YunFu, as little more than a village. And yet, even what they'd call a village here has a populations of, 3, 4, 5 times the population of the city of Albany, Albany being a city, and the population is dwarfed by villages here. Another interesting thing is distance. People don't generally travel very much here. So, if I'm going to, I used to go to a town called YG and go and help out in a kindergarten there. Every few weeks I'd take a trip over and just go and play with the kids and stuff. It's great fun. But when I tell my students, I'm going to YG this weekend, they'd, oh, it's so far. And, it's 2 hours on a bus, which, with the distances we're used to in Australia, to get from my hometown up to Perth, it's 4.5 hours. And I don't know how everybody views it in Australia, but for me, that's just a short hop up the road, especially as someone who loves driving. So that was never an issue for me. But people here, you go and travel more than an hour, and they're such a long way. It's very, they just have a different frame of reference here, just because they don't do it so much. It's probably similar if you're comparing it to other places, I guess, where people don't travel so much. I imagine America is probably very similar to Australia. A couple of 100 miles. Yeah, it's a fair drive, but it's not that far. I guess we'll have to see if we hear from any Americans about that. See what they consider to be great distances. Probably also depends where you're from in America. So if you're from somewhere like New York, maybe you don't get out in New York very much. But if you're somewhere, out in outback Texas or something, you're probably used to driving longer distances. Oh, let's go have a look down this little street here and see what we've got. There's an old looking building down here. We'll just see what this is. It looks like it might be a dead end street. We might have to turn around and go, oh no, we might be able to get around to the left here. So, yeah, so the distances people go it's very relative to what you're used to. Have a little cafe here, Village Cafe, not open at the moment. What does it say there? Coffee and tea, imported beers, bakery, cocktails and Western food. I'd like to see what their idea of Western food is. That's another thing here. A lot of times, you go to somewhere you think you're going to get Western food, but it's not really. It's what I'd best describe as China's idea of what Western food is like. So we're in a little back alley, so this must be a little village area here. It's interesting little homes. So we have new apartment area being built. Here's somebody's vegetable garden down the back of their house. So if we look back down this street, these I like quite like the brickwork and stuff on these buildings. It looks really nice. Okay, carry on through here, and we've got a little waterway down in here. So let's see what's happening down here. So it looks like another little cafe over here on the right. Then we have this pond, lake. Okay, we've got ducks over here. Let's go see if we can get close to any of these ducks down here. Okay, so we have this little area to pen them in, and we can see, I can't really see them, they're all hiding under their shelter, but yeah, it looks like about a dozen ducks sitting under there. See if we can get in from this side. Here we go. Hello fellas. And then this, so we have a cafe there, and then this waterway carries on over this side. I cannot see, oh yeah, we got some fish down in here. I don't know if you can see them with the glare on the water. And then, yeah, all the building is built right up to the edge of the water. Okay, so we're going to head back up this way and see what's out here. Oh, the lazy koala. Wow. Brings back memories of home. I might have to come in here for something to eat later on. Just because it's got an Australian animal in the name. Why not? Go and see what they do. What type of food they give us. Okay. Let's get over here and see if this waterway carries on. It looks like it does. Let's see what we've got through here. So yeah, again, building is built right the way up to the water's edge. Oh, look at this. Look like some sort of catfish or something. Let's see if we can find one. They're actually swimming along the surface here with their mouths up above the water. Feeding, looking for something, I imagine. I wonder what they eat. I'm not sure. Where is he? So yeah, it's looks like there's a lot of fish. I don't know how well you can see, but there's little ripples everywhere all over the water here, so there's a lot of them in there. Okay, let's carry on our way. See what else we can find around the way here. So we see these little alleyways down through the back here, so there'll be houses on the left and right all the way down through there, and then we're going to carry on through here. So we have a little worship area here. Put your incense sticks in and pray to your ancestors or whoever it is that the people here pray to. Well, that was a nice little find walking through this village. So we're coming to the end of this little village area now, and looks like we're heading back out onto one of the main streets, and we'll see where we come out, see if I'm knowing where I am or if I'm lost. Okay, what have we got here? So we're right, if we turn to the right, we're going to end up down at the river again. So what we're going to do, we're going to cross the road and we're going to chuck a left. and see where we end up. So that takes us back down past the little village we were just looking at, and then that's an area down there I haven't been to yet. We're going to head around to the right here. Well, what have we got here? This big building here. Let's go see what this one is. So this is a very big building. I'm not sure, can we see? Okay, it looks like a sign down here. That might be a hospital of one form or another. Yes, it is indeed a hospital. So, quite big. Actually, very big. Well, very big for some. So, again, it's that perspective thing. It's what are you used to? So, where I come from, compare this hospital to the hospital in my hometown. I mean, makes the hospital in my hometown look like nothing more than a small clinic. So here we have a waste disposal depot. So you'll see the street sweepers around on the street and the people emptying the rubbish bins and things up here. And all the stuff comes back to this one collection point, and then they'll have a truck comes in, picks it up, takes it out to either the recycling plant or waste disposal, depending on which waste they're working on. You'll often see, so the rubbish bins here, late afternoon, you'll often see, especially elderly people, will come and just be going through the rubbish bins, picking out any cardboard, glass, anything that can be recycled, and they can actually take that to recycling plants and make some money off it. So even the retired folk, they're never really retired. They're always on the prowl, finding ways to make a bit more money. And who doesn't want to make a bit more money, eh? So another very common thing here is these phone repair shops. So basically, whatever type of phone you got, you can head into these places and they can fix just about anything with your phone. And they are everywhere. They're all the way around the place. And very, very good prices. I had to replace the screen on an old phone of mine a few years back. And I can't remember, what did it cost me? I think it was 85 RMB, which is between $15 and $20 in Australia. I was very surprised at how cheap it was. It's, yeah, because a lot of the phone stuff is manufactured here to begin with anyway. Just down the road in Shenzhen is where a lot of that stuff happens. So yeah, all the stuff is easy to access here. Yeah, regardless of your brand, regardless of whether you're looking at a Chinese phone or anything up to Samsung, Apple, any of those big international products, you can get them all fixed here, and all at a reasonable price. Okay, we might have, okay. So I was talking about people going and collecting cardboard and things like that out of the rubbish bins. Here you can see one of the guys up here has collected a whole bunch of cardboard, old boxes and stuff. He must go around to different shops, take all their old boxes, pile them on, and then off to the recycling factory. So that looks like husband and wife. Actually, we've got another little village area through here on the left here. We might just go on. No, there's not much to see in there by the look of it. You see, each of the little townships will have one of these gates over the top at the entrance to their little village within the city. So as you walk around a lot of Chinese, especially the older Chinese cities like here, you'll find a lot of these little villages that were probably, villages on their own, not connected like they are now if you went way back in the past. But now as everything's built up around them, it's sort of, the villages have been overtaken by the city, but they still like to keep their identity and keep that little bit of village life going on. So you'll often see, just little communities within the larger community here, which I love. I love going and finding those places. When we get back to Jiaqing, there's actually a area I'm going to go for a walk up into and do some videoing, because it's one area that I really love. I've been up there a few times, but not for a while. Last time I went up there, there's a really nice wall with really nice artwork carved into it. But I went up to get some photos 6 months ago, but it was closed. They were bloody doing renovations and stuff, so I never got to get in there. But we might have to do a walk up there soon and see if they've finished that and we can get up and have a look. It is very impressive. So plan for the next couple of days is we're off out again to park tonight to have a barbecue dinner and just have a bit of a play again. Let's have a look here. These guys must be doing some renovations in an apartment upstairs. They've just got this big, it's like an insulation on one side with corrugated iron on the other, and they're just lifting it up. And they're going to, no doubt, head right the way up onto the roof.
Hey.
Hello. Oh, getting caught in the wind there. We're going to move back a bit just in case the thing comes down. So yeah, that's with a lot of these apartments being so high, that's the only way you can really get things upstairs. So unless you want to go to the expense of hiring a crane, it's a rope and muscles. I have actually seen guys like that who have little electric winches that they'll use, but I guess with product like that, it's probably not too heavy. It's just as easy just to pull it up by hand. Okay, over the left here, what have we got here? Can we see what this is? No, I can't make out that writing. Okay, let's just see if I can read that. Okay, no, that's Pinyin, so it's not English. Using English characters, but not spelling out English words. I'm guessing it is some kind of a school. I would think high school, maybe even a college. We might get a clue as we walk further down the road if we see what other sorts of stuff we can see within the boundary there. But I'm guessing. I really couldn't be sure. Okay, looks like we have playground equipment further up on the right here. But not little kiddies playground equipment, basketball courts and running tracks and the like. So yeah, I'm guessing that is a high school there. Okay, on the right here we have China National Health Inspection. So looks like maybe more of a health clinic than a hospital. So we have an ambulance here, which we might, when we get back to Jiaqing, we might have to try and get into the hospital that is affiliated with our school. We might try and get you a look around if we can have a look around, see a bit of what the hospital's like there and what the ambulances are like. So it's different here than in Australia for those listening from Australia. So in Australia, the ambulance is St. John and it's pretty much a standalone organisation. Whereas in here, all the hospitals have their own ambulances. So the ambulance isn't run by a separate service, it is run by the hospital that hosts the ambulance, and they'll have a driver and they'll simply send whatever they need, a doctor and a couple of nurses maybe, out to pick up patients and bring them back. So I don't know, I'll have to see if I can find out whether the doctors that do the ambulance work, whether they are actually specially trained paramedics, or are they just doctors who just go out and do the business. Yeah, it'd be interesting to find out, because the training for ambulance staff in Australia is different from your basic medical professional working in a hospital. So you're providing emergency first aid sort of stuff, as opposed, yeah, so really a paramedic their job is to stabilise for transportation, whereas a doctor, their job is to cure. So yeah, it's just a different, slightly different profession. And I'd be interested to see whether the doctors here have actual paramedic training, or if they, yeah, like I say, are just a standard doctor doing doctor jobs and just getting sent out on the ambulance. It'd be interesting. It's yeah, I always find it interesting to look at just the different ways different jobs are looked at between Australia and China. You know, just different attitudes, different customs. So you see on the left here, this fencing. So they must be doing some sort of construction in behind here. So they always fence off these construction sites. But anytime they have them, they often have these community service messages along the fence line. So you're not just looking at a blank fence, they actually cover them up just to make it look a little bit more appealing than what might otherwise be the case. Well, we're going to sign off here, head off and find a cold drink somewhere, and the people I'm staying with, their daughters are, well, one's in doing a mathematics class at the moment, the other one is off teaching younger kids in an English class. So they're going to be just about finished. We're going to sign off, go find a cold drink, and then go and meet them up. And then we're going to be heading off in a little while to go and have a barbecue. We're going to try and get the drone up, get some drone shots, get some aerial shots of the area around here. So, if you've enjoyed having a look around YunFu, like the video, share, comment, subscribe, all that wonderful stuff that YouTube likes you to do. And we'll see you in the next one. Take care, everybody. Stay safe.